Hello, reception year 1 and year 2. It's Mrs. Marsden back to read you another story, which I love doing. I love reading stories and sharing stories. So when I'm trying to pick a story to read, because I love so many books, it's hard to choose. But quite often if I'm reading a picture book, then it is the front cover and the picture on the front cover that grabs my attention and makes me think, I want to read this book. And the picture on this front cover definitely made me want to read it. The book's called How to Hide a Lion from Grandma, and here is a picture of the lion. And so again, I thought I definitely want to read about him and also about the very cute looking rosy-cheeked girl. Now, I love all animals, particularly love lions, and when I saw this one, it also reminded me of this guy that I have at home. And so I thought, this is the book for me. It also says at the top that it's a warm and a funny story, and I like stories that make me laugh. So let's see if this one makes us laugh. Now again, I will promise you I'll show you the pictures, so don't panic. So this is actually Leo, the lion. I wonder if the lion in the story has a name. We'll find out. There was once a lion who lived with a little girl called Iris. He was a brave, kind lion who had saved the mayor's best candlesticks from some robbers. He was the town hero, and Iris loved him. However, one weekend, Grandma was coming to stay while Iris's mum and dad went away. The lion would have to hide, as grandmas can get anxious, a bit worried if they find a lion in the house. I think if I came home to find a lion in the house, I'd be a bit scared, unless it was this one. But where could the lion go? And you can see in the picture, Iris is looking very confused as to where on earth she's going to fit this lion. It's pretty big. Where's he going to go? Could he go behind the curtains? Could he go under Grandma's bed? It wasn't going to be easy. And you can see in these two pictures, he's not really fitting behind the curtains, and his tail isn't really staying under Grandma's bed. What else is she going to try? What do you think? Iris loved her grandma. She always bought interesting things with her. This time she bought an absolutely enormous box. It's just a few hats and a bits and bobs. Very heavy bits and bobs, grumbled Mum and Dad as they heaved the box upstairs to Grandma's bedroom. But Iris was excited. Can we play dressing up? She said. We'll see, said Grandma. She never even spotted the lion. She just thought he was a coat stand. So here we have Grandma's huge box, which is bigger than her car. And there we have the lion she thinks is a coat stand. In fact, it turned out to be quite easy hiding the lion from Grandma because she was so short-sighted. First, she thought he was a lamp. Then she thought he was a towel, and you can see here that she's trying to dry her face with the end of the lion's tail. She even mistook him for a sofa and sat on him. She never even noticed when the lion sneaked behind them all the way to the supermarket. Ah, tuna, said Grandma, and she piled into the trolley 22 tins of tuna plus 43 bottles of milk, 12 loaves of bread, 15 bunches of bananas, 57 jars of honey, and 40 pots of crunchy peanut butter. What a lot of food, said Iris. Grandma explained she often got a bit peckish at night. Now, that's an awful lot of food for just Iris and her grandma. I wonder what she's getting all of that for, or who she's getting all of that for. What do you think? On the bus home, Iris asked if they could play with the great big dressing up box when they got back, but Grandma just said, we'll see. And in the end, there wasn't time, as Grandma spent so long making mountains and mountains and mountains and mountains of sandwiches. I do like a snack at bedtime, she said, and she took the whole tray up to her bedroom. My goodness me, look at that tray! For one person at night. Oh, gosh, I don't think I'd be able to sleep. I think I'd have a poorly tummy if I ate that much at night. Do you think it's for Grandma? Later, when Iris was asleep, she heard some strange sounds coming from Grandma's bedroom. The lion tried to pull Iris away from Grandma's door. It's only Grandma having a snack, said Iris. But did Grandma usually make those noises? Who's inside? Here's all that food for Grandma. Is she the one going? Iris peered through the keyhole. What was Grandma doing? She wasn't eating the sandwiches at all. She was tipping them inside the great big dressing up box. Is it really a dressing up box? Iris and the lion didn't know what to make of it. There was definitely something funny about that box. Iris couldn't ask Grandma now because she was supposed to be asleep. I'll ask her first thing in the morning. And there we can see Grandma tipping food inside the box. Very early next morning, Iris woke Grandma up. I have to see inside your dressing up box, she said. But Grandma said it was too early and she went back to sleep. Iris couldn't wait though. She tiptoed over and she listened. She heard snuffling and snoring. Whatever was inside that box, it wasn't just hats and bits and bobs. Iris climbed up to take a look. The lion was worried. He gave a little whimper. Shh, whispered Iris. You're awake, Grandma. She heaved the huge lid open and peeked in. There was something furry in there. And it growled. The lion pounced at the box. Roar! The box tipped right over and out tumbled. Make a guess, make a guess. What's coming out? What's coming out? A bear! The honey makes sense now. A bear! All that noise woke Grandma up. Good heavens, she said. You've found Bernard! Bernard the bear. And gracious, said Grandma. Is that a lion? Where on earth has he been hiding? There's a wonderful picture of the lion and the bear. Bernard was a very friendly bear. He gave everyone bear hugs. I thought you'd be frightened of him, said Grandma. And I thought you'd be frightened of my lion, said Iris. Look at these bear hugs. Look at those bear hugs. I think we can still get lion hugs too. Then they all played dressing up with the hats and bits and bobs, which had tumbled out of the box as well. Bernard loves dressing up, said Grandma. And there's Bernard with a hat and a scarf. All of a sudden, they heard a car pull up outside. Quick, said Grandma. Mum and Dad are back. Let's surprise them. You can see all four of them together dressing up. I particularly like Grandma's hair. So they all hid behind the sofa. And Iris, Leah doesn't want to sign. And Iris went, shh. Then, when Mum and Dad came through the door, They all went. Make a sound. What sound do you think they made? They all went. Ow! And Mum and Dad were very surprised. Look at their surprised faces. And it says, there's a lovely little picture actually from the author that says this book was for Frida, the real life Iris. So obviously whoever's written this story has got a little girl, and that might be her daughter, that might be a friend, that might be her niece. And so she's turned her into a book character. I wonder if any of you fancy writing a story where you could turn a friend or someone in your family into a character in a story. Now, I loved that story. It was funny, as it says it was. It did have a wonderful friendly line in it, and also a friendly bear. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed How to Hide a Lion from Grandma. I think there are actually other books in the How to Hide a Lion series, so maybe you could search for them on YouTube and give them a watch. Take care, everybody. Bye!